welcome Sass and Heather. How are you both doing today?
Yeah, good, thanks. Yeah.
Good. So to start off with, can you please tell me a little bit about your backgrounds?
I've been in business for myself since I was about 23 and decided a few years ago that I'd like to turn into helping people a little bit more and join Sass in the therapy business so that we can help more people long term, particularly those who are struggling with their weight, and I also focus on those that want to give up smoking as well.
And Sass?
I've been in the helping profession for nearly 30 years now, so it's quite some time, and it's my passion in life. I just love to be there and help and really learn, so I continually do the study and try and find what's out there so I can really sort of see what's current and doing the theories and research, because it's very important to me for change, to bring about that change. And I'm a mum, so I've got a couple of children, and I just love animals, so I'd really like to save all the animals of the world.
What were your main inspirations in writing the book?
We see a lot of people out there who are struggling with their weight, and a lot of weight management type programs where they drop a lot of weight, but then they gain it again. And with the research and how we've helped our people, our clients over the years, who have been able to maintain it by following our program, we just want to get that out to the mass people who are struggling with their weight, so that we can spread our message and help them long term.
Yeah, I think the frustration that came across was when we're getting people that have actually had the band operation and come back and put all the weight back on with the band still inside. And I think it's about their head's not right. So it was like we need to share. We know this works. We need to get it out there. So it's a couple of years in the process.
What are the three main things you hope your readers take away from the book?
Probably, I think the biggest thing is language. It's very different, very unique. It's about the mind, the shift that we need to make within that mind to do something different. And it's about connecting the mind and body and talking to each other, so the messages that the mind needs in order to stay put with the weight.
Yeah, listening to the messages that the body sends through to the mind and acting upon them.
You've mentioned the importance of language in approaching weight management and health. Can you elaborate on this?
One of the keys to managing your weight long term is to put the language into your subconscious mind that it doesn't have to analyse, because your conscious mind is where we do all the analysing of our language. So, for example, we're programmed from a very young age that if we lose something, we need to look for it. If you've lost weight, that's the last thing you want to do. You want to get rid of it. You want to throw it away like rubbish. So that is really important, that you change your language from losing weight.
And I think if people talk about diets and all these diets that are out there, the quick fix and all sorts of things. So the mind has been programmed to always think about diet. And as soon as we think about diet, we actually feel the deprivation that occurs when we think about diet. So it's about really splitting the language to move away from diet, moving into healthy and being healthy. And the whole language is about being healthy. It's not what you can't eat. It's not what you shouldn't eat. It's all about what's right for you, what feels good for you, what gives you the energy. So it's a real shift in the language, and that's what we mean by diet and healthy.
And you certainly don't want to try anything. You don't try and pick up a pen. You either do or you don't. So we want to get rid of trying to lose weight. So,
can you tell me some of the weight management advice from the book?
I think the biggest thing that stands out would be to believe. To believe in yourself and to trust yourself and to work through really what matters and what's important, to live the life that you really want to live according to your own choices and values. That's probably the biggest.
Yeah, in the book there's 7 steps and 32 activities, so it's sort of a hands-on, hold you by the hand and guide you through. So that would be the best way that I would advise people to follow the program and follow the steps. And then if they need any external help as well, then they can seek that. But the book has all the information that they need to do if they're ready to change.
And I think the other thing to add to that would be something around, which we always sort of talk about, is just remember, whatever your mind creates, your mind can heal and change. So if you think about that and keep that on board, you know that you have the control and the power within yourself to choose.
What was that example?
Yeah, well, I like to use the example of chocolate because there's a lot of chocolate lovers out there. So what I talk about is it's okay to have, a piece or two of chocolate and really enjoy it and get that feeling connecting within your mind and body. But if we move over and we actually have a whole block of chocolate, I would be looking at what's going on for you to eat that whole block of chocolate. What are you not satisfied with? What is it that you need more of? Because when we have a piece or two, it's about being satisfied. And if we're not, something's missing. Something's going on for you, both mind and body.
95% of people who lose weight in a diet gain it back within 5 years. Why do you think it's so hard to keep it off?
Firstly, because their language, they've lost the weight, so they need to go and find it. So yo-yo diet, go and find it.
Wow, that's a really good question. Getting their head right is about the belief in themselves, believing in themselves, and it's about knowing that it's just not about food. It's about yourself, and it's about really getting in touch with yourself, knowing what your values are and living true to those values. And if you know that, then you can live that life. That's what it's all about. And the weight's just secondary. It's not a focus. It's not a point, because you've got to move out of that diet thinking. It's the diet thinking that people get stuck in that mode. And that's why I really want to help people to go, this is all you need to do, is get your head right.
It's never about the food. It's never about the food.
Yeah.
Have either of you ever personally struggled with your weight?
Well, we both have, but in different ways, and I'll let Sass take that first.
Yeah, it's a big one for me. I struggled with my weight growing up. All our family were big, pretty much big, and were told that I would stay big and get bigger. That was just part of it. So, around 20, I think I reached my peak, which is around 132 when I had the guts to weigh myself, but I do think I went to 140 odd. And so I made a decision in my early 20s to really do something about my life, to do something so I can have a choice of living the way I really want to live, because I was just hiding from myself and didn't like who I was. So it sort of happened then in my 20s, and I've kept this like I am now. I've kept it nice and wonderfully balanced for me for over 25 years now.
And for me, I look back now and think I was really trim, taut and terrific, so to speak, back then, but I didn't think I was. I was brought up with the belief that I was going to grow up to be, just like my grandmother, who was rather a large woman. So I always thought I was big, and that I was going to be big when I grew up. So that was like my programmed destiny, that I was going to be. So.
And I think the biggest thing in the book, it's about feeling good. It's about feeling balanced in yourself. It's not about sort of weighing yourself and have to be a certain weight. It's about, I don't weigh myself. I actually just comfortably fit into my clothes, and I feel good at what I eat and nourish the body. That's what the focus is, because I don't believe we need to focus on that deprivation part of the diet stuff that the world has out there now.
And that's why the book is called Hey, It's Me, because it's about taking back control and empowering yourself to be whoever it is you want to be.
Yeah.
So Sass, what was the turning point for you in making that change?
Well, I needed to make some really big decisions of where I was going in my life, because I just felt like I was wasting it and just not living really true to who I was. And I think the biggest one is when my middle daughter came to me and put her hands around, and she just said, "Oh, Mum, why can't I touch my hands around you? Why can't I hold you all the way around? You're just too big." So for me, it really sent something that I think she must be really embarrassed. She really wants to hug me, but she can't, because she can't fit her little arms around.
Who do you think would benefit the most from reading Hey, It's Me?
Oh, probably anyone who's had a long-term weight struggle. We have people who come into the therapy centre all the time and say, "This is my last chance." So
I think it's about anyone that has given up. and think that they can't be the shape and size and live the healthy life that they want to. Anyone that thinks that or feels that, I just want them to know that it doesn't matter what size or how much you weigh, you can change. You just have to make a decision. It's just a choice.
Yeah. So pretty much anyone.
And we'll help you get there.
Yeah.
How do you think your program can benefit other therapists?
Already, we've worked with a number of different therapists over the time, and they've already commented how wonderful the techniques and what the program shapes and the language that's in it. That's very unique and different and valuable. So, thus the inspiration to really get this book out there to share. And the work that I do supervise other therapists, and I do teaching as well. So for me, it's a nice way to really get that language out there and get people to sort of work with it in a very different way than what they're normally trained in.
And therapists that are using our techniques have found them really valuable. So they're able to pick these techniques up and share them with their clients. And now with the book, they'll be able to share the book with their clients as well, so that will give their clients a guide as well.
How do you think your program can benefit other therapists?
Already, we've worked with a number of different therapists over the time, and they've already commented how wonderful the techniques and what the program shapes and the language that's in it. That's very unique and different and valuable. So thus the inspiration to really get this book out there to share. And the work that I do supervise other therapists, and I do teaching as well. So for me, it's a nice way to really get that language out there and get people to sort of work with it in a very different way than what they're normally trained in.
And therapists that are using our techniques have found them really valuable. So they're able to pick these techniques up and share them with their clients. And now with the book, they'll be able to share the book with their clients as well, so that will give their clients a guide as well.
So many people are currently on a diet or are thinking about going on a diet, yet obesity rates in Australia keep increasing. Do you think the methods detailed in this book are a way of addressing this?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, most definitely, absolutely. I mean, anyone who's on a diet, it's going to work while they're on a diet, because you are what you eat less what you do equals you. So if you're eating less naturally, it's going to work. However, this book will help them to maintain the mental attitude that they need to sustain a healthy lifestyle permanently, so that they don't have to go on a diet again.
It's about getting your head right.
The front cover of your book mentions your body is your vehicle. Can you explain that to me?
Well, it's a metaphor that your body is actually the vehicle that you have to carry you through life. So it's about maintaining it and putting in the right fuel, healthy fuel, instead of all the toxins and poisons, and so that you can maintain it, and then it will look after you in turn.
Plus also the engine is all about the headspace, and it's about getting that head right, just like getting that engine to run right.
What does the front cover of the book symbolise?
With the girl coming out?
Yeah.
It's all about that you can be anything or anyone that you truly want to be, and it's about your time to shine. So get out there.
Breaking free, empowering.
Free to be me.
Yeah.
So what were your main inspirations in writing the book?
We have several clients who come in for the weight management program, and you know, a few of those were just saying, you know, particularly to Sass, well, what would you know? You know, look at you've never had a fat day in your life. And so that's when we decided, and I just said to Sass, you've got to tell your story. You've got to get those photos out of archives and share them and tell a story.
And I think that was really massive to me, because once it went on to the web, it was like, oh my God, it's worldwide. Because I have kept it a secret. And I guess it's about me learning. I learned from it, but it's not up to me to share it, because it's not about me. It's all about what people need. That's what I'm there for. So I'd never say anything there, but afterwards we decided to go, you know what, I need to get that out there to let people know, to give them the belief that they can change. That's the message. It's about going, you know what, I was that, and you can be this, and it's about you knowing you can be. So it's not, everyone doesn't just have to understand it. It's about just getting that message across that you can change. You don't have to be if you don't want to be.
And Sass's before and after photos, and the fact that she's been able to maintain this for 25 years gives people hope, which is the main thing.
Yeah. People become inspired. I don't say anything until sort of when they come in the program, and then they come and have a look, and I just go, oh, and they're having a look at the photos, and they go, oh yes, oh wow, that's massive. And then I go, and that's me. And they go, no. And I go, yeah, you can even see because it's got the afro hairdo back in the 80s. So it's a big shock, and I've seen so many people help from this now, knowing that they don't have to be that size if they don't want to be. They don't have to be unhappy.
Right now you have thousands of followers listening in and maybe wondering what sort of diet changes and lifestyle changes need to be made to participate in the Hey Hey It's Me program.
Okay, so the diet and lifestyle areas to talk about, it's not one of the main things that we actually get right into straight away. It's all about the commitment to yourself. It's all about going back and looking and growing within yourself. That's the starting process. And then Heather, you go into...
Yeah, it's about awareness and being really clear about, you can control yourself. You can't control your external environment. So asking yourself, is this taking me in the direction that I want to go in? Yes or no? And if no, am I ready, willing and able to accept those consequences? Sometimes you're going to say no, but you've got a direction. You know clearly where you need to go to steer back onto the right track.
Basically, it's about going into the mind and making a decision. And that's the very first thing that we help people do. Make a decision. Do you want to change your life or not? And we can help you do it.
Yeah. Listen to those signals and messages that you get.
No doubt the book will be a huge success. Where can your listeners purchase the book and get in touch with you?
Well, they can contact us at the website, which is heyheyitsme.com, or they can contact us through our therapy centre here in Melbourne, in Newport, which is SAS Therapy, CAS Therapy, which stands for Conscious and Subconscious Therapy. So that's castherapy.com, or they can connect with us on any of the social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, we're on all of them, so we'd like to hear from them.
Or you can go to Amazon or your local bookstores. I'm really keen to hear from you. So, please, if you want to, get in touch with us, stay in touch, and we will respond as soon as we can.
Yeah, and people helping people, share your story on the social network so that we can all help one another.